Hopefully you can see this okay. Playing with a little turtle here on the Nomad. This is actually on Nomad Sculpt. I'm also trying to make sure I can run this IG Live at the same time. So doing two things at once. This will be nice and short again. I really only do short streams these days. It's kind of what my capacity is built for. So I'm going to start IG Live. Voila. All right, wonderful. So let's see what we can do today. Right now, I am playing with this little turtle fellow here, who I am calling Mr. Tuttle. Tuttle has actually been made before in some form. Tuttle has actually, I did this probably maybe like 5 years ago, 2D version of Mr. Tuttle. And so I'm doing the 3D version right now, or sort of a whole new version altogether. I'm very undecided in terms of how he'll transform over time. Maybe I've even been thinking about like maybe I go with something more like this, just outfit wise. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe roller derby, maybe not. But here we are. So right now I'm going to work on the legs. Right now, so Nomad Sculpt, if you don't know, is on an iPad. So I'm just playing away, which for the degree of convenience I can tell you is unparalleled. It's just so fun to be able to like, there's something psychologically very healthy about working with a sculpt on an iPad. It's very hard to describe other than the fact that you're not on your desktop anymore. So that part I really love. Okay, let me just get back into the nitty-gritty of this. Here we go. So I'm going to start building up some of the form here from the side so we can play with the isometric view. Actually, I'm going to play a little bit with the overall shape. So this is just a very simple cylinder. I would love it if I could turn in the legs just ever so little. Hi y'all, whoever's joining over here in IG Live. And we're probably going to start subdividing these legs, meaning I'm going to create more topology so I can create more detail. That's kind of how I got as much detail as I could in the face there, as you can see. Oh, I don't want that. I want to build up those knees. There we go. As you can see, I still need to do the shell on the back. We'll get to that. Who is sending a request to be in this live video with me? Who is cheeky enough to do that? Is that Mrs. Stella? Stella, this is going to be a super short stream, so I wish, but you and I, we need to catch up. I don't know. I've never even done this before with the whole request to be in live video. If you really want, I'll let you in. If you really want, let me know. What am I trying to do here? Oh, okay. Here we go. I don't even know what that meant. Well, look. Oh, it prompted you. Yeah, so on my feed it says Estella sent a request to be in your live video. So literally you could physically join me in this video, but totally respect if you can't and don't want to. What was I doing? I have the most creative ADD at the moment. Let us add another sphere. Because at least I should block this all out before I start going into details. Let's do a UV sphere. Nobody has a clue, Stella. You know what? The more I live life, the more I realize none of us has a clue. Put that right there. Make that TMNT friendly. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at the wires, the wireframe. Yeah, that's cool. And what I can do from here, once I validate this, I can trim away. Yeah, I now know what y'all are talking about. Hey, genius. Yeah, something about the prompting. It does do that in most live streams. I learned that too. What am I trying to do here? Oh, okay. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Kevo. I'll just oh, is this symmetry? No symmetry. Gas brain. Okay, there we go. So let's look at this lovely shape first off. See how this is shaping up. Beep 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 beep. Oh, that's a really thorny question, Genius. Nomad or VR sculpting? I love both, but because I get more headaches in VR now over a longer period of time, I have to say Nomad is edging VR sculpting out a bit more. My old love was Oculus Medium, or Adobe Medium now, which has now become modular. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's tough. It's actually a really tough call. I love this for the kind of couch surfing ability to just be able to make something, and to make something relatively detailed, as you can see. But there's nothing that quite beats being able to feel it. You know what I mean? The embodied feeling of sculpting in VR. So that has been a tough sort of transition, and I'm curious what you think too. Let's see if I play with the alpha. I remember I had a brush on one of these that I wanted to use. Was it this one? Could have been this one. Oh, better yet, let's try this. Let's try a mask, or sorry, a stamp, and I'm going to use a beehive. Beehive alpha stamp. I want to see how this looks on here. So this is where we want more detail. This wire frame is very low detail, I'm going to subdivide. Hell, let's see where that is. Turn the wireframe off, and then bring that back. See? Get this lovely pattern. Wait, see if I can make that radius bigger and scale this up a bit more. Yeah, but good question. I do you sometimes go back to Gravity Sketch? I kind of like that. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Make that 2. See how that feels. Love you too, Estella. Take care. Aloha. Mahalo. Okay. Bravo. Of course, I have to make the edges of that. See, the best way to do that, let me see. Take the post-processing off. Post-processing does add some steam to this. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to add a torus. I think I'm going to add a torus to this. So you get these amount of primitives to work with, which is great. Oh, it's almost exactly what I wanted. Okay, hold up. Go. Bravo, bravo. Okay, take the gizmo off. Make sure. Oh, yeah. There we go. Validate that. We're all feeling validated. Make sure the symmetry's on. Pull this out. Pull this in a little bit. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? Is I'll probably pull that back. Move. Make it feel a little bit more like a collar. Yep. Okay. So, I'm relatively happy with just blocking out these shapes. That's pretty. Maybe I'll thin this out a little bit more. I'm not sure what to do about the nose here. I feel like I really love that. When you look at cartoons of turtles, they tend to have a very stubby, a snub nose. And I'm kind of, yeah, I might duplicate that nose or create another layer. There's a whole layer system here where you can add a layer and it is non-destructive to the surface. That's something I wish I had learned much earlier on. Because as we know, with any editing or anything that involves non-destructive editing, it's just it's a lovely invention, to say the least. So maybe what I'll do, let's add some subdivision here. Also, let me save. I have not saved. Let's subdivide this more, so I make sure I can get some degree of control there, detail-wise. Same will be for the legs at some point. So you can see a lot of vertices are kicking up here. So you just have to be aware. might want to continue a little bit more of that detail of the scales on the back there of the head. So why don't we play with that a little bit more? I found that these worked pretty well. These scales right here. I'm sure there's a turtle one somewhere out there, but I actually really like these. It makes him look slightly more reptilian, which rightly so. Alpha brush, fall off. So this is interesting. You can play with all these different settings here. Yeah, so let's see what that does. Preset there. The alpha's right. And then let's bring down the intensity a bit. Make sure the radius is high. And then, how does this paint? Oh, that's not the right one. Hold up. Do that. Do that. Hey. Huh. Very odd. I don't know why. By the way, let me change this to matte cap. Sometimes it looks a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier to sculpt. There we go. I can see the detail better. See? And even in matte cap, you can change the rotation of light. So wherever I'm facing, I can see detail just better in depth. So let's see, why is this not cooperating? Paint intensity, that's not what I'm looking for, is it? That's just paint. Yeah, the scaling is right. Pressure's good, fall off is okay. Huh. Yeah, that's not what I want at all. A lot of detail, but that's not the detail I want. I swear this was working fine yesterday, so let's go back to stamp. Maybe that'll be a better choice. Stamp. We're going to use our scales. We're not going to invert pixels. Let's keep it around there. What does this do? Yeah, that almost is better. Weird. I might be covering the head altogether too, so at this point I'm kind of gilding the lily a bit. That's why I kept it back. Clean, but you might still see the back. You might see the back of the head, so that's why I'm trying to be so much nicer if I could paint this, though. That's what's bumming me out. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do that. Or, sorry, using the brush. What a bother. What a real bother. Alright, autosave. Autosave. You do you. Yeah, I'm just going to use the stamp button. And by the way, if you're curious about how I learned all this, because I'm not a traditional 3D sculptor by any means. Just a lot of YouTube, a lot of great YouTube tutorials. There's several really awesome teachers out there. Little Small Robot, I forgot the name of her channel. It's a Little Robot Studio. She's great. Dave Reed is awesome. Glenn Southern. All three of those are probably going to all three of them are wonderful teachers in their own right. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Okay, so Mr. Tuttle is coming along. We have ourselves a nice silhouette, I think, in my opinion. Gonna put the post-processing on again. Let's return this to lit. So obviously I will go through all the painting. I'll probably take Mr. Tuttle into Substance Painter when I'm done sculpting in here. But really the next thing is thinking about costuming and accessories. Also these legs, I need to do something about these legs. Before I go, that's the last thing I'll do. Let's subdivide a bit more. Subdivide, yep, good. And then we're going to do our same thing with the stamps. How does that look? That doesn't look great. We gotta subdivide some more. Subdivide. Yeah, good. Well, you get the point. This is where I'm going with things. Hopefully, this gives you a little bit more insight into how I make my things, how I make my critters, how they come to life. This is definitely the fun stuff. I love sculpting, especially on an iPad. Yeah, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. All right, all. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.